All right. Well, hello. I'm Kathy Redford with Synergy Technical, and I would like to welcome you to our virtual cafe conversation series. With me today, I have Duane Squier from Keiter. Duane is the Director of Information Systems. And Duane, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me today, Kathy.
Yeah, and can you tell us a little bit about Keiter and your role there?
Sure. I'm the IT director at Keiter CPA. Keiter is a Richmond-based accounting firm. We typically provide your accounting compliance services, tax work, audits, things like that. We also have a consulting group. We're one location and about 165 employees.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. Before we go too far into the business side of things, how is your family? And I believe you're relatively new to the area as well with all of the changes going on in the world.
Yeah, so my family, we're doing extremely well. To be honest with you, we're healthy. And to be honest, right now, just being employed, I feel pretty fortunate. Obviously, it's a fairly tough environment out there for individuals and companies. So definitely have a lot of compassion for what's going on kind of in the greater community. But like you said, Kathy, I'm new to Richmond, new to the area. We relocated last year from Colorado. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and my wife right now is providing homeschooling for my daughter. So we're kind of navigating this uncharted territory, but honestly, we're all doing extremely well.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Are you seeing a lot of changes in your industry related to the pandemic?
Yeah, just significant disruption. Everything from where we're working to deadlines for, obviously, you probably heard that the tax deadline was extended from April to July. And I think in my, 20 plus years in accounting, that's probably the most significant
Mm.
extension for a tax deadline that I've seen. So definitely a lot of disruption, where we're working from. Um, it's just a whole new environment for us.
Yeah, gosh, it's been, how many weeks have you guys been working from home now? I think we're maybe nine.
Yeah, it's all starting to run together, to be honest with you. But I would say a good 2 months.
So, what are some of the things that you've done to work from home, and what's working well? Like, have your employees adjusted? How
You
is
know,
that?
yeah, employees adjusted fairly quick. I would say it was probably a week or two into the quarantine.
Uh-huh.
People really started to settle in. Obviously, we're dealing with a lot of outside disruption too. We have kids at home.
Mhm.
In some cases, you have multiple spouses working out of the same house. Uh,
Sure.
there are new kind of challenges, but I think overall, our company has adapted extremely well. Um, I think we've had good leadership kind of throughout the whole process. We've had really good communication. And I think we're extremely lucky because in our industry, we have the tools. Um, I'm fairly new in this role at Kiter, but I inherited an environment that had, good connectivity from outside the office. So, I didn't have to implement a lot of new technologies because we had things already in place. So we just kind of built on what we had, and I think we've been extremely successful as an organization, just keeping people working. And I feel really good about where we are today.
Yeah. Oh, and if you had a crystal ball, is there anything, and say a year ago, had you known this was coming, is there anything you might have put in place that was not in place? It sounds like you guys were very well prepared.
I mean, I think we're well prepared, but obviously we still have some older analog process
Hmm.
that I would have pushed to, get that into a digital process kind of ahead of this. We did roll out Microsoft Teams, I believe it was in February. And in a perfect world, I would have done that kind of last year to where I could have a better communication plan and a training program to kind of support that initiative.
Mm.
But again, hindsight's 2020. I think we were able to kind of get it out in February. We did kind of a rush training, and honestly, our employees have been kind of drinking out of a fire hose because they've adopted it extremely fast.
Yeah, it was interesting because would you say that's the major technology that you've deployed that's helped transition you guys, or are there other tools you've deployed through all of this?
Well, I would say there are probably 5 kind of core technologies that have probably helped us or enabled us to work throughout this kind of corona quarantine. Number one, these aren't necessarily in order of importance, but a VPN in our Citrix server farm
Mm-hmm.
so that we have connectivity to all of our data from wherever you are, whether that's at home or anywhere outside the office. You have access to all of our applications that may be on premise through Citrix. And so that's been extremely helpful. Our client portal, because early in this process, we stopped accepting paper returns and we moved to digital process for clients, sending in their documentation to support their tax returns.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helped, extremely well. Um, so again, I think it's just some of our digital tools and technologies have really enabled us to kind of maintain that client service, whether we're in the office or kind of outside the office as well.
Yeah, I'm
Teams has
sorry.
been Teams has really been a big part of that.
Has it, has it, what's been the impact of morale? Are there some things you guys are doing as an organization to keep people up and engaged?
I'd say it's communication. Our leadership has done a really good job of communicating to our employees. And again, Teams kind of gives us that platform that they've been doing, whether it's weekly town hall meetings. We do a lot of interdepartmental meetings. We're doing happy hours with different groups throughout the business. Um, we're doing some fun things like recipe exchange. We're doing some brain teasers, out on Teams as well. So again, I think we're doing a really good job in it. The one thing that helps a lot is they're really upfront and they're giving us like all the financial metrics because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of uncertainty right now, and I think that really helps all the employees. It takes away, eliminates some of that fear. So again, I think real frequent communications from our managing partner and COO, and it's really been embraced by their overall user community as well.
Yeah, that's excellent. We've been doing similar types of activities, and it really does go a long way
Yeah,
with the employees and the feeling of teamwork,
yeah.
pulling everyone together during uncertain times. So, as the director of information systems, how has your role changed in all of this?
I was thinking about that. It really hasn't changed my role. It just changes where I'm doing it from, right? So, we're providing remote support now. And I'm fortunate that I have experienced help desk staff, so they're very familiar with our environment. And it's been a fairly seamless transition. But there are challenges, right? Like, how do you get equipment repaired? Getting equipment set up at people's homes so that they have kind of that home working environment that's really conducive to getting work done. So that's been a challenge. And then you get into connectivity challenges, whereas here at the office, I can control the connectivity. But at a employee's home, they may or may not have a lot of options for connectivity. And so those can kind of be the challenges, right? The bottlenecks and things with the internet from outside of the office that we have limited control over.
Sure. And if the families, you've got a couple of kids at home and they're all watching Netflix while mom and dad are both working, and it definitely changes things.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a delight. And you guys, it sounds like are well on your way. And have pivoted quickly in this new world that we're in. But we appreciate you and thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thank you very much. And we appreciate all the help.